Welcome back to Trending Now USA. I'm Bella, and today's developing story centers around one name dominating early tennis predictions across the world, Coco Gauff. With the tennis world preparing for the Australian Open 2026, experts, former champions, analysts, and supporters are all asking one major question. Is this the year Coco Gauff officially takes command of the sport and wins her second Grand Slam title? Momentum, statistics, psychological growth, improved serve accuracy, elite training, maturing match temperament, and her evolving aggression on hard courts all lead to one compelling conclusion. Coco Gauff may be uniquely positioned to win the Australian Open 2026. And today, we break down why so many people believe her victory in Australia is not just possible, but inevitable. Coco Gauff's journey toward becoming a dominant force in tennis has been rapid but strategic. After winning the US Open and establishing herself as not just a rising star but a proven champion, her evolution has been steady, methodical, and intentional. The developments in her game are not just about power or speed, but about her ability to adapt, read opponents, and adjust strategy mid-match, a trait seen in champions like Serena Williams, Novak Djokovic, and Rafael Nadal. She is no longer the teenage sensation the tennis world once labeled her. She is now a psychological competitor, a tactical thinker, and a player who thrives under pressure rather than collapses beneath it. One of the largest reasons analysts believe Coco Gauff will win the 2026 Australian Open is her rapid improvement on hard court surfaces. Melbourne, like New York and several WTA events, favors athletes who combine pace, defensive ability, and smart shot construction. Gauff checks all three boxes with authority. Her defensive skills have become world-class, often allowing her to turn what should be losing points into momentum-shifting winners. Her court coverage has always been exceptional, but in recent seasons, she has added more depth, precision, and confidence to her baseline game. Instead of simply chasing the ball down, she now transitions defense into offense with some of the cleanest backhand redirects seen in the sport today. Another important factor is her serve. The serve has historically been the most inconsistent part of Gauff's game, especially earlier in her career where double faults and rushed toss mechanics cost her key points and momentum. But through extensive coaching, repetition, and modernized biomechanics, her serve has evolved into one of the most threatening weapons in the women's field. Speed is no longer the only tool. Variation, placement, and predictability control now accompany her natural power. Her ability to protect her service games has significantly increased, meaning fewer pressure moments and more dominance in early set control, a crucial advantage on the Australian Open stage. Then there's the mental toughness factor, arguably the most defining trait of great champions. Coco Gauff has developed resilience not through easy wins, but through difficult on-court battles, heartbreaking losses, and high-stakes matches where expectations weighed heavily on her shoulders. Unlike earlier in her career, when confidence fluctuated depending on performance, she now carries unwavering belief, even when facing the toughest opponents in tennis. This mental shift was visible in interviews, post-match conversations, and body language. Confidence is no longer something she has to activate, it is now permanent. Many coaches and analysts highlight that one of Gauff's competitive advantages heading into the Australian Open is experience, without physical decline. She is still young, still explosive, still capable of running down seemingly impossible balls, yet she now pairs youth with maturity and tactical intelligence. The women's field is witnessing something rare, an athlete with veteran discipline and youthful athleticism. That balance gives her a major edge entering Melbourne. Her support system also plays a major role. The family dynamic around her career has always remained grounded, disciplined, and strategic. Her coaching team has expanded with elite conditioning specialists, match psychology experts, and analytical staff who utilize video breakdowns and algorithmic pattern tracking. This kind of preparation separates champions from contenders. Coco Gauff is stepping into the Australian Open prepared not just to compete, but to control the outcome. Another key reason experts predict her victory is her consistency against top-ranked players. She has proven she can defeat major champions, aggressive hitters, and finesse-based tactical players. Her adaptability allows her to adjust depending on who stands across the net. Whether she faces players like Iga Swiatek, Aryna Sabalenka, Elena Rybakina, Naomi Osaka, or up-and-coming young threats, she has the tools to win. Every major tournament proves the same pattern. The longer the match continues, the stronger Gauff becomes. Momentum feeds her confidence, and pressure energizes rather than intimidates her. Fitness is another critical advantage. Melbourne demands endurance due to heat, long rallies, and multi-match stamina. Many athletes fatigue or struggle late in the tournament. But Coco Gauff's conditioning has reached elite championship level. She is capable of long matches, 3-set battles, and recovery between rounds, something she struggled with earlier in her career, but has now mastered. Her speed remains explosive deep into matches, and her footwork remains tight and efficient, even under fatigue. Her backhand, one of the cleanest and most technically flawless shots in the WTA, continues to evolve as an offensive weapon. Once used primarily for stability and neutralizing aggression, it is now a tool for finishing points, redirecting pace, and breaking down even the strongest opponents. Many analysts have compared her backhand development to some of the most iconic strokes in tennis history. The shot gives her the ability to change rhythm, dictate court positioning, and force errors from players who try to overpower her. But perhaps the most compelling factor in predicting her Australian Open victory is narrative momentum. Sport is not just skill, it is timing, growth, expectation, and readiness. Coco Gauff's career arc shows a steady progression: breakthrough, establishment, championship, and dominance. She has moved past the introductory phase of her tennis journey and stepped fully into her identity as a champion. The Australian Open 2026 represents the next chapter. Crowd support is also expected to play a major role. With a global fanbase, young athletes see Gauff not only as a top competitor, but as a role model. She represents discipline, positive energy, and the power of belief. Her humility combined with confidence resonates with audiences across continents. Tennis fans appreciate athletes who balance hunger with respect, and Coco Gauff embodies that balance perfectly. The Australian Open setting itself may favor her playing style. The bounce, pace, and court conditions align with her ability to absorb power and counterattack. Her movement on the hard court looks effortless, and she transitions forward with greater confidence than ever before. Confidence in net play, once a weakness, is now an asset. Improved volley control gives her more tactical variety and reinforces her advantage in closing points efficiently. Her rivalry dynamics also contribute to her prediction as a future champion. Rivalries sharpen athletes, and Coco Gauff has faced and battled against some of the strongest opponents in modern women's tennis. Each rivalry has strengthened her mental framework, forcing adaptation, self-reflection, and improvement. Those experiences turn pressure into familiarity, something many players struggle with under the bright spotlight of a Grand Slam final. Beyond physical and tactical components, there is something else happening, something harder to measure but impossible to ignore. Coco Gauff now plays like someone who expects to win. That shift is the final ingredient champions need. She no longer enters tournaments wondering whether she belongs at the top. She enters with the mindset that top players must defeat her, not the other way around. Her preparation for the 2026 season reflects that confidence. Reports surrounding her training indicate increased focus on serve variation, return aggression, and first strike tennis. She is now working to win points faster, conserve energy, and dictate match pace, changes that historically precede dominance. The evolution mirrors what Serena Williams demonstrated during her peak years, an aggressive approach designed to control destiny on the court. Statistics also support her upward trend. Match win percentages, return game success rates, breakpoint conversion, and closing accuracy have all dramatically improved season by season. Numbers rarely tell the full story in sports, but when combined with visible growth, they become powerful indicators. Coco Gauff's emotional maturity may be the most underrated advantage she carries. Earlier in her career, self-imposed pressure sometimes interfered with performance. Now, the pressure fuels her discipline, clarity, and self-belief. Her interviews show calm confidence. Her focus is steady. Her goals are specific. And her mindset is professional in every sense, consistent with athletes prepared not just to compete, but to ascend. What the world sees now is a player entering her prime, prepared, equipped, and poised. And when a player reaches that level with momentum, belief, preparation, and unmatched athletic ability, the result often becomes historic. As the Australian Open approaches, predictions will continue, skepticism will fade, excitement will rise, and anticipation will grow. But one theme remains strong in expert discussions: Coco Gauff is ready. The talent, the timing, the preparation, and the maturity have converged in a way that signals something extraordinary. And if the projections, patterns, improvements, and psychological readiness continue aligning the way they have, the Australian Open 2026 may not just be another tournament. It may be the moment Coco Gauff solidifies her place as the next dominant champion in tennis history. This has been Trending Now USA. I'm Bella.